Good morning to all. Today is the day 7 of special lecture series program on finance and its allied areas organized by Kolkata Bidhannagar Society for Academic Advancement, West Bengal, India, coordinated by Azure Academic Services, West Bengal, India. Today's topic of discussion is Principle of Management, Motivation and Leadership. Today our guest faculty is Mrs. Nibedita Mallick ma'am. She is an assistant professor of commerce at Bankim Sardar College with over 14 years of teaching experience. She holds an MCom, MBA and UGC NET qualification and is pursuing PhD. Her research focuses on finance, banking, insurance and social science. She also has multiple publications and achieved awards. So she will deliver to today's session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Um, Today, our topic is motivation and its theory. Now, first of all, what does it mean, motivation? Sometimes we can hear the term from the many of the people, many of the lectures, many of the society is a motivation. So, what does it mean if we go through a specific the specific definition? So, in a management, we can say is a process. It is a process of the inspiring people in order to intensify their
चलो
desire and willingness for executing their duties and different responsibilities.
कोई
So, it is a basically a specific definition from we can get different management gurus. In other
কি
words, it very simply we can say it means to
কিসের জন্য জানতে বলো
induce, instigate,
হুম?
incite, or prompt someone to a particular course of action for getting the result expected
এটা
from
আমার
him.
নর্মাল
Now, if
সবসময়
we
জানতে
very simply we can explain this. Suppose a person is very upset with regarding some matter. Then what we will do? We can find out what is the reason behind that.
करो करो
Then
करो
we want to motivate the person through a different factors, like it are external factors. Sometimes it can be a internal factors. So then the person should motivate himself or herself is a own. Then she or he will contribute her or his work
কি
towards the organization. So this is called the motivation. Now there are
না না ওই
several
জন্য
theories
কাঁপে না
we can find from a several
ম্যাম
management
আমার থেকে
gurus.
বেশি নার্ভাস আছে
There are very four very popular and the common motivational theories we can find.
আমার
Number
হাত
one,
কাঁপাটা ভেঙে গেছে
Maslow's hierarchy need theory. Second one, Hertzberg's motivator hygiene
ভালো
theory.
হয়েছে
And number three, McGregor's X and Y theory. And number four, Och's Z theory. So these are the theory we can get in from the different management gurus, and it is very popular for our organization
करो
and
विशाल
on
भाई
others society also. Now, first we discuss the Maslow's hierarchy need theory. What does it mean? In the definition of Maslow hierarchy need theory, so we can say need is the important one of the important factor in this
मर्चा
particular
खत्म हो गया है
theory,
विशाल भाई
and we can have a hierarchy of need that ranges from the lower to higher. As lower need are fulfilled, there is a tendency for other, then go for the higher need. So it is a by definition we can explain this. Now Maslow's hierarchy need theory, it is a basically a physiological theory that purposes human motivation is based on a hierarchy of need, starting with basic physiological need and progressing to higher level one by one and achieving one by one need. So it suggests that individuals are motivated to fulfill these needs in a specific order. Now, if we go through a structure, this is basically a pyramid structure. Now, the base of the pyramid, we first find out the physiological need. So as a human being, most of the human being, first their need is a physiological need, like food and shelters and clothes. These our basic need. So when the person fulfill their physiological need, then they are looking for the second order, second higher order safety need. That means uh, we are working people, so some are there, how they can survive their themselves from the society. So that is the safety need. And after that, third order social need. Now it become a, when they are matured enough, they are living in the society, so they are now achieving some of the need, fulfilling their need from the society. And after that, when these needs are completed, then the esteem needs are coming their mind. Now the self esteem, now they are looking for themselves better, better and better position in their society, in their workplace, in the organization, etc. So these are called the esteem need. Now the four part is over. Now the last is self actualization. So the fifth position, when person fulfill all the needs, physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, then they are achieving the self actualization need. That means all of we want to see in ourselves in a higher level, in a particular position, a special position. So that is called the self actualization. So in Maslow hierarchy need theory, basically these are the five sections we can get from the lower to higher one by one. Now the structural way. Now these are the analysis part, the different needs, and we can analyze this way, like esteem motivator, recognize achievement, assign important project, and provide status to make employees feel valued and appreciated. Suppose a supervisor, after that she or he will become a manager, then area manager. So these are the position. These are the example of the esteem needs. And self-actualization, I'm giving you the example, suppose are offered challenging and meaningful work assignment which enable the innovation, creativity, and progress according to a long-term goal with several years of experience. So these are the Maslow's hierarchy need theory. Now, in this theory, also we can get some other limitation, and we can say these are the criticism also, because all of we know that in the management context there are several theories involved, and also there are criticism of every theory. Now what are the criticism or limitation of this theory? Maslow's hierarchy of the need has two key disadvantages. One is Maslow's theory ignores the human different culture and the social background. So we can discuss this, but we cannot discuss. Suppose the persons are coming from the several backgrounds, several cultures. Then what happened in the organization? No, there is no any kind of analysis is here. So these are one of the limitations of these theories, and therefore, the priorities can differ from the person to person. For example, some people may value socializing with friends and family more than safety. So these things cannot discuss with that particular theory. Another thing is that we all have a different needs at different times in our lives. However, the most significant criticism of Maslow's hierarchy of need concern is the unscientific approach, use of the unreliable sample, and the specific research method he used to draw conclusion to the study. So these are the basically the criticism of that particular Maslow hierarchy need theory. Now we can go the second theory in our motivation. Hertzberg motivation, or it can say hygiene theory. So, in our management guru, Hertzberg, he introduced the hygiene theory. Now, what are the Friedrich Hertzberg performed the studies to determine which factor is an employee's work environment cause satisfaction or dissatisfaction. So, these are the very important thing. If the person is dissatisfied with his or her work, he cannot be motivated. So these particular thing find out Friedrich Hertzberg, and he introduced his theory, hygiene theory. Now he published his finding after the research in the 1959, the books, The Motivation to Work. And in that particular books, we can find the particular theory that is called the two-factor theory of motivation. So basically, the hygiene theory is a two-factor theory of motivation. It is also known as the motivation hygiene theory. Now, in this particular theory, it suggests that the job satisfaction and dissatisfaction are influenced by two separate set of factors. Sometimes some are of them are very satisfied with their job, and the same organization parallelly some are not so much of motivated with his or her work. So these are the several factors involved here. So these are called the basically hygiene factor, such as like salary and working condition. So prevent dissatisfaction, but don't actively motivate employees. While the motivators like the achievement and recognition create satisfaction and drive positive performance. Suppose I am giving you the example. In our student, suppose in a class, we are introducing the different kind of prize. Why? This is very important. Why it is very important? Only the first, second, and third. Why important? Because of the motivation. If we motivated the students, if you achieve the position, you can get the prize, get this scholarship. So these are the hygiene factor. The same as applicable in our organization, in our workplace also. If we motivate the employee of the year, the employee of the month. So this kind of basically we find in the any private organization in a basically which is very much involved in the sales related. So they are inspiring by this like of recognition. So that is very important. So that is the different hygiene factor. And another thing is the salary. It is also very important because when we cannot get the salary improvement, we are not motivated. It is very much true. So these are the example of this factor. Now we can go through a theoretical aspect, hygiene factor. These factors are related to the work environment, and if absence or inadequate can lead to dissatisfaction. Example, salary and benefit. Number two, we can say working condition. Suppose working condition is not okay for us. We are not motivated with a particular job. That is very important. Company policies. Suppose the company policies is very good, then the employees are working in a several year, continuous. Though the salary is lower than other company, but the company's policies is very much motivating to the workers. Now the supervision, relationship with the peers and supervisor, that is also very important because when we are working in a particular organization, the relationship between our peers, that is very important, and supervisor also. So these are the hygiene factors. And we are also segregated the motivators factor. What are the motivators factor? These are factors are intrinsic to the job itself, and when present can lead to satisfaction and increase motivation. For an example, achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility, advancement, growth opportunities, and opportunities for the personal development. So these are the basically motivator, right? So hygiene factor and some are the motivators factors. So these are the basically several factors involved in particular hygiene theory. Now, how we can applying in the management, that is quite very important, because when we're studying as a student, we are studying several theories in our syllabus, but after that also it is very important focus in the practical life, visualize your theory to a practical field. That is very important. Suppose the theory aspect is okay, but how we can apply this theory in a particular life, in a particular real field. So, applying this in the management hardbox to factor theory. Suppose that hygiene theory, salary, peers, conditions, security, job security, policies, etc. And the motivator factors, recognition, growth, interest, and achievement. So these are the in several fields. For an example, suppose we go through our different field in a different company, in a different field, we can see there are several award introduced in the field because of that, of the motivation. Now, the applying this theory, it suggests that workplace satisfaction and dissatisfaction are influenced by different factors. Manager can use this theory to improve employee motivation by addressing both hygiene and motivating factors. So that is the actually the real example, or it is applying in the real field. So managers can apply these two theories also for their employees. By focusing on the work itself and providing opportunities for achievement, recognition, and growth, managers can create a more positive and motivating work environment. So when they are creating and also motivating work environment, automatically employees are working more and more, and they are very efficient and effectively they are working. So that is the thing. So it is also coming from our inner side. Motivation also coming from our inner side. It is not only the outer factor or outside factor, it is also inside factor. When we are motivating us, automatically our performance will be better and better. So in essence, Hirschberg theory provides a framework for managers to understand and address the factor that influence employee motivation and job satisfaction. So by understanding the interplay between the hygiene and motivating factors, managers can create a work environment that not only prevents the dissatisfaction but also inspires and motivate employees to achieve their best performance. So these are the basically diagram. We can follow this. Suppose with a different example, suppose the staff is dissatisfied and unmotivated. So they are not working so much enough. Then hygiene factor involved. Now the staff is not dissatisfied, unmotivated. And when we also introduce a motivational factor, now the staff is satisfied and motivated. So these are basically the structure of Hirschberg two-factor theory. Now, the limitation. If we discuss the theory, definitely there are certain limitations that should be discussed also here, and criticism. Now, the Hirsch two-factor theory, while influence has a several limitation, it's often criticized for its overly simplistic view of the motivation, failing to consider individual differences and situational factors. So that is important, because of the individual to individual depends on a different factors and the difference on different situation. So that should not consider here. and not fully explain the relationship between the satisfaction and productivity. That is also important. When the person is satisfied, then their productivity will be more. So that is not discussed here. So that is the also limitation. The theory also struggles to account for how hygiene factor can actually be motivators for some individual and how some dissatisfied workers may still perform well. So these are the several things. It's like overly simplistic, lack of empirical support, ignores individual differences. These are the limitations point. And number four, fail to explain anomalies, ignores situational factors, hygiene factor as motivators, work related bias, no objective measurement, limited generability, and focus on satisfaction, not productivity. So these are the several limitations we can find this theory. Now the another theory is coming. McGregor X and Y theory. These are the number third motivational theory we can discuss here. McGregor's X and Y theory. Now, what are the X and Y theory? For an example, if we go through any organization, we can find very simplistic way. There are a certain person is very active, very active. They are walking, but some of the employees not working, and they're always discussing with several factors, several negative thought, negative factors which is involved in the organization on all, but they are not performing their own, they are not performing their work, but they are discussing with the several things. So these are the two type of employees we can find any kind of organization. So McGregor, management guru McGregor, he find out he find out that there are two different factors involved. So that's why X and Y theories he introduced. Now the what the theory X involved? The people need close supervision, but the theory Y, people want independence in work. Theory X will avoid work when possible. I'm already told you in the avoidance of the work. So these are the basically a category of theory X. Will avoid work when possible. But why? People seek responsibility. And theory X will avoid responsibility. But theory Y, people are motivated by self fulfillment, their own motivation. Self motivation is coming, so they are working for their towards their organization. And theory is also that they desire only money. Now I'm getting salary end of the month, okay, it's okay for me. Now just I'm coming and going, coming and going. What actually I'm doing in a whole day, that is not important for me. Category of X, category of theory X person. But if we go through the category of theory Y, we can find that yes, definitely I am coming, and what will be my contribution towards my organization if I'm getting salary from here. So what actually my contribution towards my organization, that is also a motivational factor for me. That's why I am doing my work in a self motivated, through a self motivated factor. That is a category theory of Y. Now, the theory under the theory X, people must be pushed to perform, and theory Y, people will drive themselves to perform. So that is the basically theory X and theory Y. Now, the McGregor theory X and Y are contrasting management. It is called a contrasting management because two are exactly opposite in manner. The style developed by the Douglas MacGregor to explain how managers perceive and manage employees. That is important. When a person from supervisor to manager means the manage the employees through a different motivational way. So that is important. Now the theory X assume employees are inherently lazy, dislike work, and require strict supervision and control. When theory Y views employees are inherently motivated, self-directed, and capable of taking initiative. So these are the basically MacGregor's theory. Now, the what are the assumptions? So if we go through the particular visualized picture, we can segregate it, the theory X and theory Y, the category of people. Now the theory X assumption, employees dislike work and avoid it if possible. Employees lack ambition and prefer to be directed rather than to take initiative. And employees are driven primarily by external rewards and punishment. And employees need close supervision and control to ensure they perform. So these are the assumptions. Now the management style. Management style, it is a authoritarian and the directive and the close supervision and control and reliance on reward and punishment to motivation. So reward is there, also the punishment is there. They needed that because of the until and unless if they are not working, they should punished by the authority. So that is important because that is very important for the management. So these are also the motive. If they are working good, then also reward also there. So that is the important reward and punishment. Now the theory why. If we go through a theory why, there are also a several assumptions. One of the assumptions, work is a natural as play or rest. Number two, employees are self motivated and enjoy taking responsibility. They are enjoying their work. So that is a category of theory why. Employees are creative and can apply their ingenuity to work problem. And employees are capable of self direction and self control. So these are the basically assumption of theory why. Now the management style focus on creating more working environment where employees can achieve both personal and organizational goal and a delegation of authority and responsibility. In that particular management style, the theory under the theory why, we find that the delegation of authority and responsibility is very important, a managerial style and encouragement of the employee participation in decision making. So we want to introduce more and more employee to engage in our management for their decision making purpose, because when they are motivated themselves their own way, so they are also contributing some of the part towards the organization. So that's why our decision making is very important and participation in decision making. Suppose I am the simple employee of the organization, but if I would contribute some of the part of the decision making process, so I can contribute my objective, my vision to the organization. If the management is suppose find out the like this decision is yes, it is very good for our organization, so they are capturing this decision making. So that's why this is a managerial management style also, and participative and empowering, that is also important. So these are under the theory why. Now, these are a diagram we can find here, the McGregor's motivational model, theory X. and theory Y. So if we go through a diagrammatical way, we can draw this diagram in a particular field in the theory X in management and theory Y, how they can introduce themselves. Like a management under theory X, highly autocration and with strict control, detailed supervision, and top-down hierarchy. But in the theory Y, we can find the participative and democratic, where the manager trusts employee to take initiative and make decision. And it is definitely in upward in nature. It is not top down. It's down to top in nature. So these are the presentation of this McGregor's motivational model. Now the fourth one, our Auchis Z theory. Now, what the Auchis Z theory say? Theory Z, management philosophy developed by the William Auchi, the blend American and Japanese management practices to the foster or more engage in the productive workforce. Now, I'm just telling you the actual case study of introducing this theory. Auchi's William Otis, a philosopher or we can say a management guru, he just saw the American workers and the Japanese workers. What actually going on? After several research, he find out that American workers is rather than less motivated than the Japanese worker. What happen actually, why it is going on, he find out, and after that he introduced the Z theory. So that's why it is developed by, it is a blend of American and Japanese management practices. It is more and more productive workforce. So it emphasizes a collective decision making, long term employment, and employee well being, aiming to enhance employee loyalty and productivity. So these are the different factors involved in particular Z theory. So these are the, it is a long term employment, that is very important. Suppose in our country, basically we find out the government job. Why we find out the government job? Why the most of the people are not very much attracted to the private job? So because of the long term employability, that is one of the important factors. If the private organization also involve their employee is a long term purpose, and definitely they are motivating, one of the motivational factor is they are motivating, and they are also enjoying their work with the private organization. But most of the private organization, it involves the employee, but after 6 months, after 2 years, 1 year, they are not continue with that particular workers, particular employees. So that is very important, and that the William Otis find out, and then blends through theories. Now the theory Z stresses the need to help worker become generalistic rather than the specialist, and it views job rotation and continual training as a meaning of the increasing employees knowledge of the company and its process, while building a variety of the skill and abilities. So in very particular in the real field, it is very important theory for us, because our training and development is a continuous process. It cannot be stopped. We cannot stop here. Before pandemic, we find we are find some are the different system also there in our teaching profession, but just due to the pandemic, and after that some are the different kind of technologies and several things involved in our teaching profession also, and it is very also important from other sector also. A different kind of work environment is different, and these are the skill and ability is very important. You have to achieve the position, so the skill, develop your skill every day, every time, every moment, every second. That is very important, and that is actually discussed in the Orchestrate theory. So, if you want to remove your stress in the particular workplace, you have to develop your skill and ability. So then only you can remove your stress in that particular organization or your workplace. That is the one of the important. And when you remove your stress, that means you become a very important for the management, important for the organization, important for that particular workplace. So that means who are developing your skill and knowledge, then you become a very valuable person to but towards the organization, and then only it can be possible. Now the if we discuss the key principles of theory Z, number one, the collective decision making. It is very important, the collective decision making. Suppose one person introducing their decision, a particular organization, that is not always very good for the or healthy decision for the organization. So sometimes the collective decision making is also very healthy, management making a management policy making purpose and other decision making purpose. So that is important, and that is also leading to increase commitment and responsibility. Now, the second thing is long term employment. Already, I have discussed here. Now, it emphasizes the stable condition, the stable employment, and the sense of security. So that is always sometimes fostering the loyalty and encourage the employees to invest in the company's long-term success. So if I want to invest my time in the particular organization, so definitely some of the security also I need. Until and unless without security, without any kind of job security, it cannot be possible. I cannot motivate it. So these are the very important part for the company's long-term success, from the organization long-term success. Now, the third one, generalistic, not specialist. So, theory said encourages employees to develop a broad range of skill and knowledge, become generalistic, who can contribute to various aspects of the organization. And the focus on the employee well-being, yes, definitely, it is also important. So, if we consider their well-being of the fact, one of the important factor of the employee, so definitely, and we find out the need of the employee outside of the work, fostering a more supportive and understanding the work environment. Then he or she become a very loyal employee of that particular organization. And informal control. So this theory also suggests a more informal and trusting approach to management, emphasizing the collaboration and trust rather than strict hierarchical control. Always not very good to the very strict control. Very strict hierarchical control is definitely it is sometimes very negative motivational factor towards the employee. So the individual responsibility, yes. While the promoting teamwork, theories that also emphasize individual accountability and importance of employees taking ownership of their work. Now we are discussing here this is very important, the accountability and responsibility. Suppose the team are 10 people together make a team, but one is the team leader. Why the team leader is there? Because now the team leader supervise their total team, and also he or she have the accountability and responsibility for that particular 10 people team. So that's why it is the individual responsibility, one of the important factor. Now the strong company culture, yes, definitely it values a shared sense of the purpose and strong organizational culture that aligns with the principles of theory set. So theory Z seeks to create a work environment where employees feel valued, respect, and empowered, leading to increased engagement, productivity, and job satisfaction. And the distinguish of features of the theory Z, mutual trust. These are the distinguished features, and strong bond between organization and employees, employee involvement, integrated organization, and coordination. So these are the distinguished features of theory Z. Now, there are also several limitations in the theory Z. While promoting a humanistic and collaborative management style has several limitations. It can be difficult to implement in organization with different culture norms, and especially those not attuned to lifetime employment or participative decision making. So, accordingly, the theories emphasize on trust. Informal controls might be challenging to maintain without a strong underlying structure and accountability. So, here we can find out the several through our different points. Now, the culture and the practical challenges and cultural differences. Sometimes theories that not very much clarify regarding the different cultures people are coming with getting together and working in a different organization. It is sometimes very much not very motivational factor from the other employees, so that they cannot discuss. And feasibility of lifetime employment, that is also important. And this concept also lifetime employment, a key aspect of the theory, is that can be also challenging implementing dynamic job market. Already I have told you, in a several private organization it cannot be possible sometimes, because they are always looking for a performance. So performance appraisal one of the most important, and the participative decision making sometimes not possible because of the particular management. There are very limited people involved for the decision making purpose, board of directors and all. So always the most of the employees are not working, not participative in the particular decision making purpose, policy making of the particular companies, making the article of association, it cannot be possible. And slow promotion, yes, it is also one of the important part, the emphasis of the seniority based promotion. Some of the companies, some of the organization introduce the seniority based promotion. It is a very common features of theories that, but it is not possible for the every time to promote every employees for the promotion. It a particular organizational structures through their article of association. So these are the different factors, and also lack of structure of accountability. So, if we go through a particular management, so definitely there are also a lack of clear structure regarding the accountability and potentially hindering organizational efficiency, etc. Now, the difficulty in implementing large scale, yes, when a company is small, it can be possible. But when a company is very large, it cannot be possible always to introduce all the theoretical aspect to applying their management field. It is sometimes very difficult. And resistance from the management and employees, yes, it is one of the very important factors, because of their actually the resistance from the management. We are introducing, suppose a company is want to introduce a new thing towards the employee, but the some of the employees not very okay with this, and they are also resist. No, we cannot we cannot achieve, we cannot a particular go through that way, we cannot be possible, it is very negative for us. Yes, these are the resistance from the management and employees. And limited empirical support also, yes, because it is a continuous process. When we introduce this theory, definitely the feedback processes process should be there. So what will be affect after 6 months, after 1 year, or after 3 months? It definitely feedback is needed from the employee side. So focus on the high level management. It is also a part high level management, and because of the potentially overlooking the need, concern, employment at a lower level, and defining Z in a practice. Definitely, we'll introduce a Z theory. Definitely, it will be very, very effective for a management. Now, the very interesting part is a practical implication. I am discussing several theories in a motivational theory, but when we go through a practical fit, now I want to discuss this thing. Now, the some of the for our students and in the several area field that is very important for the management, inspirational lesson for success from Ramayana. What are the inspirational lesson? Now, they always have a clear vision. Values are important. Truth always wins. Relationships are valuable than money, and we should always keep good company and SWOT analysis. And one should not get carried away by doubtful attractions. Now, I'm discussing one by one. Um, Now, the first thing is inspirational lesson. If we go through our epic Ramayana, is a motivational part. As like a Bhagavad Gita, I rediscovered the values and morals from the Ramayana. Both these Ramayana and Mahabharata are enough to completely guide the way of life living. Yes, that is very important. And many theories presented by top authors of the world, if observed, are some or otherwise surely mentioned in this too. So I suggest every youth to follow these moral values like inspiration from the same or creating or achieving success in life. Now, the number one, always have a clear vision. So, if we go through that particular point, so we can say Rama's. I'm just discussing some of the case studies from the Ramayana. Rama's clear vision was to rescue his wife Sita and defeat evil force. So, this clarity about the goal also enable his army to place its heart and soul within the battle to rescue Sita. So that is called the clear vision. And a frozen vision will always be motivating factor to focus on the goal and not to get deviated. Every leader must have a transparent vision of what he is aiming for and what is going to it bear him in future. And also he must think in parallel to his followers who will support him to realize his goal. So that is called a clear vision. Now the second point, values are important. Yes, it is very, very important. The values are important. Sticking to some core values which are steeped in the retinas eventually leads to a success. The main character of the Ramayana, Lord Rama, in depicted in Ramayana as an epitome of virtue, and he is a perfect king, a perfect son, a perfect husband, and a perfect practical person. He sets high ethical standards in warfare and invariably decides with dharma or rightness. So that is the values are important. So that's why we can say ethics. It is a very, very important factor on all of us. Now the third one, truth always wins. Yes, truth always wins. The basic teaching of the Ramayana is that regardless of how powerful evil is, it will always be defeated by God. And truth always win, regardless of how vicious or the poisonous life is, because even a bitter truth odds with the positively, and therefore the sweetest lie has the darkest plan behind it. Yes, it is very, very important. And the win of excellence over evil will be a universal fate. An individual should have a noble heart and good values. That's how Lord Rama defeated the foremost knowledgeable person in history, Ravana. So, the fourth one, relationships are valuable than money. So we can say the money is very valuable for us. No, definitely not. Sometimes definitely money is not most important. Relationship is very important. Sometimes it is in our practical life. The relationship between Rama, Lakhan, and Bharat is that the perfect example why you ought to always value your relationship. Every relationship should be above than greed, anger, or jealousy. When Lord Rama was sent to Vanvas for the 14 years, Lakshman accompanied his and supported him in good and bad in the 14 years. The Bharat, who was given to ascendance, never considered himself as a king. Instead, he played an acting keel till Lord Rama returned home and handed over the domination of to Rama. So their love for each other was greater than money or property, which made them exemplary in history. And if we hold love higher above anything during a relationship, the oath, the respect increase, and your soul says pure. So that is very important. One of the motivational factor. Now, the another is we should always keep good company. Company means our friend, our parents, our colleagues, our peers, anything. So it is said that your company shapes you into an individual you are. We have been told to remain good company since childhood, and Ramayana to emphasize the relevance of fantastic company. So why I'm giving you this example? Because yes, definitely we all learn from the childhood. These are the several story from our grandparents, from our parents and teachers, and definitely in our class books also. So Queen Koike, the third wife of the Dasharatha, loved Rama like her own son, but her hand maiden, and Manthara poisoned her thoughts with negative feed, negative motivation. So in result, Kaikeyi asked for creating her son Bharat as king and Rama's 14 years of exile. A negative person can brainwash all the great inside you. That's why we should always keep a healthy circle in order that we become a better with time. Now, the SWOT analysis, the strength, weak, and opportunity and threat. It can say the SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis, once mentally prepared for the work, very first thing which Hanuman did after reaching Lanka was to do an entire analysis of things. He did an entire study about the Lankas, assessing their strength and weakness and various threat and opportunities which he had within the enemy's camp. So that is very important SWOT analysis for every organization. Now, this analysis is one of the most important aspects for success. First, and definitely you find out your own SWOT analysis, then you become a successful person. So, first you need to ascertain the goal or job to be done, then get mentally prepared for it and have a right plan, and then analyze the strength and weakness of the competitor and what threat and opportunities are there within the business. Now, the last part, one should not get carried away by doubtful attraction. Definitely. Sita, now for an example, Sita, who was in the forest, grew madly attracted to a beautiful golden deer. He wanted her husband, Lord Rama, to catch the deer. She refused to listen to Lakshman's warning that such a deer was not natural and that is could be a demon in disguise. Because of her insane pestering to acquire the deer to be her playmate, Rama had to get behind it. Unfortunately, this led to her getting separated from him, and she then got the forcibility abused by the Ravana, the demon. So this was just few of the lesson by Ramayana has a lot to teach all the upcoming generation, entrepreneurs, and every person seeking to get success in life. So uh, these are the example. So and the Ramayana thought of the different characters, Rama, Hanuman, Sita, Bharat, Kaikeyi. These all are the several aspects we are getting, or the several illustration. So it is definitely we all have to learn through this way. Different our practical field are several factors involved. So these are the basically a example of the motivational factor. So if we go through a particular type, so purpose and goal oriented motivation, dharma and ethical motivation, intrinsic motivation and self direction, and leadership and motivational influence. So these are the basically a type of motivation. Now, the another part is coming leadership and management. Now, this is also very important.
Hello, ma'am. You are not audible.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
am I audible?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
my PPT is there showing
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
leadership
ma'am.
and management. Yes. Now, the another part is coming. Now, the interesting is leadership in management. So, the key aspect of the leadership in management. So the leadership in the management involve basically the guiding and influencing a team towards a common goal of motivating, inspiring, and empowering them. So first thing we are motivating, then we go for our leadership. So empowering them, and while also managing resources and process effectively, it's about creating a positive work an environment where employees feel values are encouraged and to contribute their best. So these are the basically key aspect of the leadership in management. Now, There are also several uh, factors are there in the leadership. So number one, vision and the direction. So when a particular we have become a good leader, definitely we have some vision. And without particular specific vision, we cannot achieve any goal. So we cannot direct a particular way. So that's why it is one of the most important vision and the direction. So leaders establish a clear vision for the future and communication it effectively to their team, guiding them towards achieving long-term goals. So if you are a very good leader, you always looking for the long-term. You are not looking for the short-term goal. So this is one of the part. Now another part is motivation and inspiration. Now the already I have discussed in the last session the motivational part, the several type of motivation, several theoretical aspect of motivation, and also the practical example of the motivation in our real life, in our society, in the management also. So leaders inspire and motivate them to perfect at their best, fostering a sense of purpose and engagement. So these are called the inspiration of the motivation. Another is a communication and collaboration. If I am the leader, I have a several thought, very good thought regarding that particular goal, achieving the goal. I have so much of plan, very good plan. Until and unless if I am not communicate with my employees or with my team, I cannot achieve. So that's why communication collaboration is very important. Effective communication is crucial for sharing information and resolving conflict and fostering collaboration within the team. So that is very important. And decision making, leaders make informed decision based on the data and analyze and ensuring the action align with the overall vision and strategy. Yes. One of the important part is coming the strategy. Strategy is very important for the leadership because if we have a plan A, until and unless we definitely have plan B, plan C, plan D. Because if I'm running with plan A, suppose the problem will be coming. Then what I will do? Shall I stop? No, I also introduce the plan B. If the plan B is not okay, then I go for the plan C. So that way, a different strategy also involved in the decision making purpose. Now, the delegation and empowerment. Leaders delegate tasks and responsibility effectively, empowering team members to take ownership and develop their skills. So that is also important for the empowerment of the uh, particular organization's employee. And performance management. Yes, leaders provide regular feedback. Already I have discussed feedback is very important for the any organization. Without feedback we cannot achieve the particular goal. So leaders provide a regular feedback, set clear expectations, and yes, we need it, we have to achieve this. Suppose a particular marketing organization, yes, we have to achieve the particular goal with that much of sales, or any other financial organization or other production organization. So that is important. We have clear vision and clear communication with the employee. Yes, we have the clear expectation from you, but without that we cannot perform properly, and the monitor the performance to the ensure that the team is on track to achieve their goal or not. So that's why monitoring is one of the important factor for the performance management. So for an example, suppose we are the teacher, so when we teach in the class, so definitely we need to go through a particular exam. internal exam, external exam, universities exam. Why? Because of the performance measurement. We have to measure a particular interval. So that's why it is important. Now, the change management. Suppose, why the change management? Suppose the management is running in a particular manner, but until and unless if they are not achieving their goal properly, then the management should change their strategy. Change sometimes change their way. So leaders negative organizational changes effectively and ensuring that the team remain focused and motivated during times of uncertainty. And now the conflict resolution, definitely there are conflict also. Any organization conflict should be resolved in a particular manner. So leaders address conflict constructively and fostering a positive and collaborative work environment. Building relationship, leader cultivate strong relationship with their team members, building trust and respect and learning and development. So, if we consider the leaders invest in the development of their team members, providing opportunities for learning and growth. So, I have already discussed the training and development. Yes, training needed every time is a continuous process. On job training, before job, and when we also entering the job, definitely employees also needed a particular interval the on job training. Suppose some software is introducing in the financial sector, definitely they are sometimes not very okay with, all the employees is not okay with the particular software. They need a training, proper training. So without proper training he or she cannot be developed. So learning, definitely learning is a process, but definitely a company providing or leader providing the opportunities to them, then they become they are achieving their goal with a particular process. Now, the importance of leadership in management. So, what are the importance? Number one, driving innovation. Strong leadership can foster a culture innovation and encourage employees to come up with new ideas. Yes, leaders who can become a leader, the people have a several ideas, a very good ideas, very uh, innovative ideas, then he or she become a good leader. So improving performance, effective leadership can lead to improved team performance, increased productivity, and better result. Enhancing employee engagement, sometimes the leader who are passionate about their work can inspire their team to be more engaged and motivated. So that is the enhancing employee engagement and building a positive work environment. Strong leadership can create a positive and vibrant workplace, a supportive work environment to their employees and feel the valued and respect. If you respect your employee, definitely employees also respect the organizations. So this is one of the important factors and importance of the leadership. So, resilience in times of crisis. Yes, in times of crisis, effective leaders can help guide their team through challenges and maintain the moral. Yes. If we go to our country also, we are facing several situations, and definitely in the several situation, we all together resolve that problem. So these are the different example for the importance of the leadership and a good leader. So in essence, leadership in management is about the creating a positive and productive work environment where employees are empowered to achieve their full potential, ultimately leading to the organizational success. Now, I'm showing us several leaders, the best leaders in the world. They are definitely all of us already known about their leadership, their style, their strategy, their different introducing kind of theories of the leadership, so etc. Now, uh, in particular slide, I am showing you a different picture. Why? Because in the several pictures, we find out a different kind of leader, the kind of leadership style. So, in particular, one of each diagram showing a different kind of leadership style. So, this is also important because when you consider a leader, they may or may not be the same. Definitely not same. They are introducing their kind of theory, their kind of strategy, their style, and their field also are several kind of field. If we consider there are different field in a particular world, so they are introducing their style their own way. So now we become a leadership skill. What are the basic leadership skill? Number one, integrity. Integrity, definitely a principle, honesty, and treat other as they wish to be treated. Passionate about the belief and alignment between the action and words. These are called the integrity and leadership skill. Now the vision. What does it mean? Sees the future where things need to be. Already I have told you several times, vision, that means you visualize your own way to forward yourself after 10 days, after 10 years, after this, what will be. So that actually the vision. So if I have a clear vision, you have a clear vision, and definitely you achieve this a particular manner. So, and set of a particular strategy to achieving this vision. Now, the C is the future where things to be, need to be, and attacks commitment and energize people. Creates meaning in the lives of the followers. Establish a standard of excellence. Bridges the past, present to the future, and transcend the status. So these are the communicates effectively to paint the picture and inspire other towards the future and state that you perceive. And number three, the communication. Yes, communication is very important. Consummate and leaders need to know how to share as well as how to seek information, what to communicate, to whom and when. That is more important. What to communicate to whom and when, the particular time, that is the important from the leadership. So how to choose the appropriate medium of the communication, how to communicate with a large and a small audience. If we communicate a small audience, you cannot communicate the large. Definitely vice versa. If you communicate a very large audience, sometimes you cannot communicate with properly in the small audience. So that is also important. And when not to communicate. Yes, when a leader become a very silent. That is also are important. And number four, we consider are developing people. One of the important leadership skill. Encouraging, helping, coaching, mentoring people to stretch and grow their capabilities and their current status. So people follow you because of what you do for them. When people are following, that means you have to do something for them. So, do you exude and instill trust and respect in those around you? Yes, that is the important question you have to ask your own. And do you have the superior networking, interpersonal, and group communication skill? Yes, that is also important because developing people means you have some network, you have some good network to developing this. Now, the best leader, also good managers. Yes, already in our motivational purposes we already discussed different managerial skills. So best leader are also good managers, although it is rare to find the best traits of both in one person. So these are the like I'm discussing through a particular diagram, the position, the permission, production, people, and personal growth. So these are all several time. One of the in the horizontal axis we consider the inside of the time and the time, and the vertical axis we consider the influence. So these two is very important. Now the management can be simply defined as the organization of the process and people to achieve a desired result. So, good management is the art of making problems so interesting and their solutions so constructive that employee and that everyone wants to get to work and deal with them. The Paul Hawken said that. And six management style Hubbard from the Hubbard Business Review, we find that number one directive, do it the way I tell you. That is the important for the manager. And authoritative, the firm but fair for the manager. And affiliative, the people first, task second. So priority is the people. And participative, the everyone has in. That means already we discussed everyone should input their own vision, own um, suggestion, and participating to the do it myself and coaching the developmental. So these are the basically we found a different kind of management style from the Harvard Business Review. Now, the management skill gained, the work effectively under pressure with deadline. Yes, the deadline is very important because of the within a time, with a particular time, we have to finish the work. It is our make our own way. So that's why some of the pressure, some of the intrinsic motivation is coming from them and comprehend the new material and subject matter quickly. Yes, suppose some are the things is introducing in the society. Definitely, we have to learn, have to aware of this. That is our own purpose. It is not for the not for the organizational purpose. Definitely for us, because I have to. If I want to achieve this, so definitely I have to learn, I have to develop my skill, a new thing. So work effectively with a limited supervision. Always we don't need a supervisor. Yes, we need a supervisor, but from our side, the own I will be my supervisor. Why I need always the supervisor for other side, outside, definitely from the inside. I am also my supervisor. So that way, our managerial skill is developing for our leader and manage projects from the beginning to end. That is a managerial skill. And identify goal and or task to be accomplished, a realistic timeline for completion and prioritize tasks while anticipating potential problem and maintain flexibility in the face of changing circumstances. Yes, if I consider a different several problem is coming in the organization, I have to solve the problem until and unless if I don't have the flexibility. Sometimes I have some so much of flexibility. So a leader, good leader, have also should have the flexibility because of the different circumstances. Sometimes they become changing their role. Now, leadership versus management. That is also a very interesting part. The leaders and the managers. Who are leaders? Who are managers? Leader can be a manager. Managers can be a leaders. Yes, now, the leaders, if you consider the leader side, create the vision and managers execute the vision. So that is the important. So I'm introducing a new thing, but I have a plan policy making purpose, but the actually in the real field, the implementation is very important. So who can implement it? Managers can implement it. So leaders create the particular policy, making the particular policy, but the managers execute the vision. Now the under the leaders transformational, but managers transactional. Yes, leaders for the long term but managers short term, because if I'm giving the example, suppose we go through our several bank, what we find that branch manager for the 6 months or max to max 1 year. Why? Because of the short term purpose. Because if we consider for the long term, then it will be a negative impact from the particular institution. But if we go through a short term, definitely performance will be higher, and the more efficiently they are performing their own way. That's why. And the leaders innovate and the break rules, but managers cannot make rules. They make rules, they maintain rules. And leaders inspire people, but the manager inform people. And leader challenges the status, but managers clarify the status. And leaders accept the failure, but managers resist failures. Yes, they want to resist them their own way until and unless. But leaders accept failure. Sometimes they are getting failure, they accept. And leaders hard passion people, but managers have the hate, control, and process. And the leader seeing and the selling purpose, but the managers doing and the telling purpose. So these are the basically leadership and versus management. Now the teamwork, forming, defining and defining the team charter roles and the task strategy, etc., and developing trust and communication. Now the storming, walking through the challenges relating to the task process and the person, and norming, acknowledgement the team strength and weakness, acceptance of members, harmonized walking, and the performing, harmonized walking and achieving result together. So the following section now the highlights the leadership challenges that are faced by most of the leader: lack of communication, change management, employee mental health issues, conflict management, employee development, understanding employees' expectations, adapting to technological changes, and crisis management. So these are the very, very common challenges which are facing every leader. Now, real life example. Now, uh, if we consider a real life example, now that is also essential for us. Now the also I'm giving you some of the case studies from our epics. Leadership lesson from the Ramayana. Ramayana is the epic tale from ancient India, and that has been revered for centuries for its timeless wisdom and preaching. The story follows the journey of Lord Rama, who sets out to rescue his wife Sita from the domain King Ravana. Now, the tale is not only a captivating story, but it is also a source of inspiring for the leaders and individual skills. And in this regard, there are several key lessons that the Ramayana teaches us about the leadership, which can be applied to the business world. And in this series of the point, we will explore key takeaway from the Ramayana, and every CEO um, of the company should understand and follow the to build and grow their organization. So these points range from the having a clear vision and leading by example to fostering a culture of innovation and staying true to your values. By incorporating these lessons into the leadership style, CEO and can create a strong foundation for success and lead their organization to new height. So Ramayana, the CEO perspective. Now I am discussing. The Ramayana, an epic poem from ancient India, contains many valuable lessons that can be applied to leadership and organizational development. So these points are from Ramayana, but CEOs could understand and the follow to build and grow an organization, have a clear vision. Rama had a clear vision. So definitely CEO should have a clear vision for their organization and communicate it effectively to their team. The number two, lead by example. Rama led his army from the front and was not afraid to take risk. CEOs could also lead by example and be willing to take calculated risk when necessary. It is also important for them. Now, number three, build a strong team. Rama had a team of loyal and capable followers who supported him in his mission. CEOs could build a strong team by hiring the right people and empowering them to achieve their full potential. Communicate effectively. Rama communicated effectively with his team, keeping them informed of his plan and progress. CEOs could also communicate clearly and regularly with their team to build trust and avoid misunderstanding. Another thing is empower others. Now, Rama empowered his followers by giving them important responsibilities and trusting them to carry out their duties. CEOs could also empower their team members by delegating tasks and trusting them to make decisions. Stay focused. Rama remained focused on his mission despite facing many obstacles and distractions. CEOs could also stay focused on their goals and avoid getting sidetracked by distractions. Be adaptable. Rama was able to adapt to changing circumstances and come up with creative solution to problems. CEOs should also be adaptable and flexible in their approach to leadership and problem solving. Another part, build trust. It is also important. Rama built trust with his team by being honest, transparent, and dependable. Yes, the people can depend on their leader until and unless they cannot perform. CEOs should also build trust with their team members by being reliable and keeping their promises. Lead with compassion. Rama showed compassion and empathy towards his followers, even when they make mistakes. CEOs should also lead with compassion and treat their and team members with respect and kindness. So sometimes empathy is very important for the this leadership and motivational purpose. Take responsibility. Rama took responsibility for his mistakes and accept the consequences of his actions. So CEOs should also take responsibilities for their decision and action and be willing to admit when they are wrong. Be patient. Rama demonstrated patience and pervasiveness in the face of adversity. CEOs could also be patient and persistence in pursuing their goal even when progress is slow. So patient is one of the important for everyone, for leadership, motivation, and our real life purpose. Sometimes we are growing, but it's very slow. We have some patience to think positive, and definitely we will achieve this goal. Learn from failures. Yes, the most of the world famous leaders says that learns from failure. Yes, sometimes failure is a positive vibrant for us. Yes, in the short term purpose, we find that we are failure person. No, the failure, lesson from failure. Yes, you have to learn from the failure. So Lama learn from his failure and use them as opportunities to grow and improve. And CEOs should also learn from their failures and use them as opportunities to learn and improve their leadership skill and foster a culture of innovation. Rama encourage his followers to think creatively and come up with innovative solution to problems. And CEOs could also foster a culture of innovation in their organization by encouraging new ideas and experimentation and lead with integrity. Rama was known for his integrity and high ethical standard. So CEOs should also lead with the integrity and set a positive example for their team members and stay true to your values. Rama remained true to his values and principles even when it meant making difficult decisions. CEOs should also stay true and to their values and use them as a guide for their leadership decision. Now the have a clear vision and etc. So different example we can find there, and definitely we can say these are the leadership in our real life leadership example. So now I can conclude different sloka from our Gitas for the student and for our own purpose. We can say now you have the right to do your responsibilities, but don't expect specific benefit. So don't let the desire for the reward motivate your action, and don't be disappointed when things don't go as planned. And another thing we can say, perform your duty with a calm or balanced mind. Just like Arjuna, let go of your attachment to success or failure. So, this balanced state of mind is called Ajoga, and you can help yourself get higher. And you should never let yourself down. You are your best friend and worst enemy at the same time. So, if we explain this in our leadership and motivational thought, so we can say this sloka serves as a reminder that we have the ability to inspire ourselves and make improvement in our own lives. In other words, it means the same thing. So avoid allowing the distraction to hinder progress and devoting complete attention to one's studies is crucial for achieving success. So by immersing oneself fully in the learning process, students can attain excellence and reach their goal. So I am concluding myself with that way. Students typically experience but doubt, tension, confusion when learning. So Bhagavad Gita can guide you through these difficult times. So these sometimes these are the several motivational thought, motivational slokas. So we are like kept in ourselves. Definitely, we will achieving this, and we will be a good leader and motivator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really great session with you. From this session, I don't think students have any doubt about the motivational factors and leadership strategy that need in their life, and they will not only make their decision. They it will not only help in their academics, but also they can make their decision in real life. The way you have given examples of Ramayana and other things, they will surely make good impact. It will surely make good impact in their lives. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for bearing time with us out of your busy schedule. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
With this, we are concluding today's session.